Fareed opened his segment with a sharp critique of the Biden administration's sudden decision to increase tariffs on key Chinese imports. From electric vehicles and solar panels to semiconductors and medical supplies, the U.S. just put a massive economic wall around entire industries. The reason? To protect American jobs and challenge China's growing dominance in high-tech manufacturing. But Fareed argued that this wasn't a strategic move. It was a political one. He explained that the tariffs were rushed out just months before the 2024 election cycle heats up, designed to show voters that the U.S. is tough on China. The problem? There's no real plan behind it. Without coordination with allies, long-term strategies, or domestic readiness to replace Chinese imports, America may have just entered a war it's not prepared to win. In the second part of the show, Fareed reminded viewers of a critical history lesson. The U.S. has tried this before, and it didn't end well. Back in the 1930s, during the Great Depression, the U.S. passed the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, which raised taxes on hundreds of imports. It was supposed to protect American workers. Instead, it led to a global trade collapse and made the economic crisis even worse. Fareed drew a bold line between then and now. "We're repeating old mistakes," he warned. "Global supply chains are even more complicated today. Slapping on tariffs sounds simple, but it triggers price hikes, retaliatory taxes from other countries, and massive disruptions in everything, from food to electronics. In short, what starts as a targeted trade war can easily spiral into a global recession." Here's the part that hits home for most Americans. Tariffs are just taxes on consumers, and that means you pay more. Fareed explained that when the U.S. imposes tariffs on imports, businesses don't just absorb the cost, they pass it on to customers. That means higher prices at the store, slower delivery times, and more strain on already struggling households. Think inflation has been bad? These new trade policies could make it worse. And what about small businesses? Many rely on affordable parts and products from abroad to stay competitive. Tariffs hit them the hardest, possibly forcing closures or layoffs. As Fareed put it, "We're hurting our own economy while trying to hurt someone else's." One of the most eye-opening moments in Fareed's segment came when he explained how China is already fighting back. Beijing has responded by warning of counter-tariffs on American agricultural products, tech goods, and even rare earth minerals used in smartphones and electric cars. That's bad news for U.S. farmers, manufacturers, and consumers. Worse yet, China is ramping up alliances with other global powers, especially in the global south, to build an alternative trade network that doesn't rely on the U.S. Fareed called it the beginning of a new economic Cold War. He warned that if the U.S. pushes too hard without support from allies like the EU, Japan, or Canada, we risk isolating ourselves, while China forges stronger trade ties elsewhere. The bottom line, this isn't just a two-player game anymore. It's a global chessboard. To end the segment, Fareed offered a powerful conclusion. He said the U.S. has the right to defend its industries and workers, but not like this. "We need strategy, not stunts," he said. Tariffs should be a last resort, not a headline grabber. Fareed urged American leaders to focus on real economic planning, investing in education, research, infrastructure, and innovation. That's how to truly compete with China, not by starting trade wars without a map. He also emphasized the importance of working with allies, not against them. Trade policy shouldn't be used as a political weapon in an election year. It should be guided by long-term national interest, not short-term polls. And perhaps his strongest message of all: you don't win a trade war by shouting. You win it by outsmarting. Final thoughts. What happens next? The U.S. just escalated tensions with the world's second-largest economy. But without clear goals, strong partnerships, or public support, this trade war could backfire fast. Fareed. Zachariah's warning is clear. We need a plan, or we're heading into chaos. That's your full breakdown of Fareed's take. The U.S. jumped into a huge trade war without planning ahead. If you found this helpful, make sure to like the video, drop your thoughts in the comments, And don't forget to subscribe for more easy-to-follow news breakdowns that actually make sense.